cameras in the feds. He got to jail. He will spend some time.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. And I know that's sad to say, but let's hope so. Sorry, YouTube. And I had to switch cameras because I fucked up. But I'm back. Sorry. Won't happen again. I hope not. Anyway.
I think really what I think they did was pretty much gave black people a blueprint on how to behave when you're being wrong. When you think you're being wrong.
And who is this you talking about?
The rioters.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the people that stormed the Capitol building.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
the
insurrections.
What happened if like, the guy down in Georgia, what is his name?
Ahmaud Arbery.
Can you imagine what would happen if 5,000 people stormed that police station?
But it wouldn't be the same outcome though. We wouldn't have the same outcome. We wouldn't even make it that far.
Well, can't say that.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't say that.
That's true. Did y'all see the goddamn news today where they done robbed these kids on their way to fucking school? This morning, today. Here in Detroit, nigga, on Manning and Houston Whittier or whatever. Took their phones and their jackets. Somebody pulled up on them, jumped out the car, took their jackets and their phones on their way to school. 8:15 in the morning. How old the kids? They're 14 to 15. They were high schoolers, but still kids. But dude, honestly, when is the last time when we was in high school, the shit was happening a lot because they was taking starter jackets and Jordans, and that was decades. Yeah, they right. We were being robbed for, but nowadays, that just seems far fetched to me. It just seemed out of time for me. Like. Right, Max Julians and Jingle Boos. That's what we used to get robbed for. And I guess it still goes on. I guess because I'm out the loop, I don't think about the loop. Does that make sense?
You gotta look at the situation. We weren't going to high school. Monetary situation.
Yeah, because we didn't have $1,300 phones, but we still got robbed for our gym shoes and our jackets and our hats. I don't know. It just seemed weird to be hearing about this in this day and age. That's the first. I'm sure it happens more than gets reported. Right. I'm sure it happens more than it gets reported. But that shit is. I agree with you, Joel. The shit's a shame. It's a fucking shame. It's like.
Let me ask you something.
And you can't even. Most of the time, you can't even do nothing with these phones nowadays. When you take them, you can't do nothing with them. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask it.
I mean, what you expect when you got the current situation that we're in, with so many jobs, and nobody still
don't want to work.
The whole the pandemic money and all of that stuff, they just screwed that over already.
That money been gone.
They was getting that $4,000 or $5,000. They didn't do nothing. They should have started a business.
But they didn't. They didn't do anything.
You know what I mean? It was part of your
again, I want to apologize to my YouTube audience. I moved the cord. I swear I won't do it no more. What up, Mr. Rhodes? I see you, bro. What up, though? That's definitely some Detroit shit. What up, though? But yeah, it's just like, wow, two kids going to school trying to get an education, and this happens. It's just like, wow. I just found it out of time for me in my head.
Well, you don't know.
Oh yeah, if you don't have a job at this point, it's because you don't want a job. If you don't have a job, it's because you don't want one. Definitely. Speaking of motherfucking wait. I meant to talk about it last year. Starbucks to make motherfucking coffee. They done went up 5% for part-time workers and 10% for full-time workers. That's up to $23 an hour to make motherfucking coffee.
How long will it last?
How long will what last? The coffee or the $23 an hour? I don't care.
Some people don't trust it though, because I talked to a couple people and
they
said, "Well, how long will it last before the country, quote unquote, go back to normal?" And now they start getting rid of these people so that they can hire people for that.
Anachronistic.
Hey, I'm gonna take that run where I got it.
Say it again, Joel. I need to hear your word. I need to hear you say it. Anachronistic. What? Wait. See, when motherfuckers hit you with words like that, I'm sorry. I like to get educated.
Ain't no wrong with it.
While I'm when motherfuckers so next time motherfucker drop that word on me, I can be like, oh yeah, I get it. I get what anarchy means. I'm just making sure I get it in the right context. Gotta look shit up. Down
It means in a place out of time.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So yeah, that's what it is to me.
Like lazy.
Thank you.
Lazy. This is fancy way of lazy.
Thank you. See, that's why you're supposed to have a team. Well, there you go. Thank you. He just told me after you said it, a place out of time. So that's what this robbing. That's hearing this robbing on the news today was anachronistic to me. It was out of time.
Now you gotta understand now. Some of these kids are just they just have some crazy behavior.
You mean no morals is what you
Yeah, no manners.
No manners, no morals. Yeah.
No respect.
I agree.
I agree. The ones that got robbed, it's quite possible.
They was being retested.
They
Yeah.
might have jumped on his kid.
Or they could have.
You know what I mean?
Now come on, we just speculate. We just speculate. We're gonna leave the victims to victims because right now we just speculate.
Yeah.
Because somebody look, motherfucker stole my daughter. I mean, just because it's like you think you the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people can just be jealous. It could just be out. They say at least one of the two people were armed. They jumped out of a Red Fusion, apparently armed, and robbed these kids. Joel says, but didn't they used to say that about our generation? No manners. Joel, I don't think so because I guess they did. But the people I hung out with, we all kind of had manners though. Like
we all had manners, but it was still some of us. We all had these crazy individuals that we grew up with that just didn't respect.
Didn't respect nobody. Yeah. Oh yeah, there was always one or two in the group. Agreed.
But still in the same token. Their mother, their parents just went around in their house. Their parents was teaching their ass. They just want
So that means again, this goes back around in that cycle that I talk about. So if we were taught manners, and basically the children the people we're talking about now are the product of the children we raise, because we're speaking now as these kids are at least grandkids or old, younger son or whatever. So that means somewhere along the lines we dropped the ball. Our generation.
No. Our kids.
No. We dropped the ball because we raised them kids.
Because you know why?
We raised them kids. So if we didn't raise them with the same morals and values that we had, then they're not teaching those morals and values to their kids. So we dropped the ball.
A lot of these kids are the kids that were crack parents' kids.
A lot of
kids raised themselves.
No,
their parents raised
it's you're jumping a generation. No, I'm with you, but we're that generation. We're the crack kid generation. I'm just saying, but you're part of that era. Like most of I ain't saying all of our parents were on crack, but the drug era that affected the 80s, we grew up parentless. Our generation, we grew up parentless, which made us parents earlier. Because all of us started having kids at 15, 16, because we did what we wanted to do because we didn't have parental supervision. So, okay, so then we didn't drop the ball. Our parents dropped the ball. Or crack killed Applejack. That's basically what I'm saying.
I think the people, I'm thinking the people that was our age dropped the ball.
Right.
Us or whatever.
Because our generation.
They parents or our parents was crack kids. So
right.
We raised ourselves.
Right.
And therefore, some of them had kids at young age.
Right.
So the kids raised themselves because the kids were still being kids.
Being kids, right.
They weren't being a parent.
Right, because I was still a kid, being obviously a kid trying to be a parent. Right. You know what I mean? I get right.
So you couldn't teach the kid no value when you weren't taught no value.
Because you is 16, 17.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree with you.
Even at 16 years old.
I think Joe says, I think the generation after us, those born into the 80s with crack parents. Yeah. It's us then. That's us.
Yeah, I'm born in the 70s.
But right, I was born in the 70s too, but when crack hit in the early 80s, I was 10, 11? So I'm still a kid. And my parent ended up being addicted to it. So therefore, I became a father at 16, not knowing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And And then I can't raise, like he said, I can't raise a kid because I'm still a kid.
You at 16 years old, you knew right from wrong.
But you're still a kid though.
So, I mean,
You're still developing. Shit.
I get what you're
At
saying.
at 5, you know right from wrong. You know if you
What I'm
touch that
saying
stove, that bitch gonna burn you.
At 16 years old, at 16 years old, you knew right from wrong well enough not to get yourself killed.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no.
I feel like
Because I'm still young, dumb, and ignorant. I ain't going to school. I ain't doing. I'm the streets raising me.
But that, I mean,
you weren't in the position to be teaching somebody else how to be right because you're too busy playing yourself. You want to play basketball. You want to hang out. You don't want to change.
Shadavian say these motherfuckers out here lazy. That's why they robbing kids. At 16 years old, you know right from wrong, but impulse control is another story.
Self gratification.
Everybody
immediate gratification. Let me say that.
Everybody does. That's when they was doing 5-1s in the 80s. Yeah. 80s were bad with crack epidemic for poor city families. Right. And that created this kind of dichotomy that we have now where because we grew up with the drug addicted parents, we were part of that process in the 80s. We in turn tried to make sure our kids didn't have to experience any of that. We gave them everything. And we didn't teach them none of the struggle. And now I think that was part of the fuck up.
Certain of us.
Yeah, the majority of us.
You still got that population that parents give a fuck.
Then give them, that's true. Yeah, it's true.
You had to figure out what the fuck wasn't getting no Christmas toy.
That's true.
Kids got issues. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Listen, Joe. I every now and then, I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant. I shouldn't say ignorant. I act retarded on purpose because whatever. But anyway, but yeah, but still, if I can't look at everything individual. I have to look at everything as a generational level for me to comprehend it and make it make sense. And that's my theory. Like, because we coddled them so much and gave them everything. Like, my daughter never ever fucking caught the bus, like ever. To school, from school, got a ride every day, got picked up every day.
And, and then they don't know they will.
Like you couldn't even know how to take. Listen, but that's what I'm saying. So we started that entitlement. That's what these little motherfuckers feel now. And so now our grandkids feel even more entitled because they don't have to work for shit.
You look at that. Also, if we did, you got to get more people.
I know. Again, like I say, I'm not just looking at the circle. I can only see from my vantage point, but I'm also trying to look across the board, if that makes sense. Like I ain't just simplifying everything or everybody to my struggle or the circumstances surrounding it. But if you look at the generation as a whole, that's what I'm saying.
But as a generation as a whole, you got more. I feel like you got more people that wasn't doing what we did.
What do you mean?
Wasn't looking out, taking care of their kids.
Oh,
their kids had to do for themselves.
Oh no, I'm not right, and so that created it even worse.
It's rare that you had people that did for their kids.
That happened more than.
And George just said, and many people spoiled the shit out of their kids and sheltered the fuck out their kids, which in turn made weaker kids, which is why we got this whole woke generation now, because these motherfuckers soft.
Let me say this.
But I've been saying that.
The east side compared to the west side.
Right.
Range totally different.
Right. But again, now you just told me I'm not just looking at my circle. I'm talking across the board.
But we was raised totally different.
Right. Some people are, Robert says, some people are scared of the kids going to school because of that white van. That's true too. That's very, very true. So anybody pulling up, they're gonna have to shoot me in the back. Period. Anybody pulling up on me trying to do anything gonna have to shoot me in the back because I'm running. Period. I'm running first, ask questions later. No. I think Tom, somebody just sent me a video on Instagram. 3 guys sitting outside the car, leaning against the car. This car pulls up slow. It's obvious y'all don't know who this car is, but y'all sitting there long enough to give this person time to load a gun, get out the car, and shoot y'all. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that.
Well, that right there was either element of surprise or underestimation.
That was underestimation. That was underestimating and not being aware of your goddamn surroundings. Because listen, yeah, Like nigga, look, but hey, that nigga, that how long that car been there? That car been there 2 motherfucking long. Ain't nobody got out. Ain't nobody said nothing. I'm at least gonna walk away from. I'm at least gonna walk away from where we at.
Well, I mean, it already depends. If you in your neighborhood where you think you run everything, and this is your place, and you used to being there.
That's how niggas get killed.
Pull up to the store, like, you know what I mean?
That's how niggas get murdered.
I mean, it's element of surprise. There might have been somebody you jumped on, and he just switched the car and came back.
So listen, in the Oklahoma County Jail, 3 inmates are trying to sue the prison because they say they have been handcuffed together, forced to stand up and listen to Baby Shark for hours.
Baby who?
Baby Shark. You don't have grandkids. Baby Shark, 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 Baby Shark. That's all the song. That's all the fucking song says. Either Baby Shark, Granddaddy Shark, Grandma Shark, but it's Baby Shark, Shark, Shark.
So basically, they were probably in there acting like kids.
They say they tried to sue because they say they handcuffed them together, made them stand up and listen to Baby Shark for hours on there. I bet your dumb ass won't act stupid up. If you've never heard Baby Shark, it's the most annoying motherfucking song in the world. If you haven't heard it, you don't need to hear it. It's the most annoying fucking song in the world.
TV singer all day.
But I listen, Joe. I found that to be the funniest shit ever. I found that shit. Oh,
my grandson come over, I put him in the basement, let him get in the remote.
To all you women, hell, not even you women, to some of you men out there, to anybody out there that might find themselves in that situation. Did anybody see the 16-year-old girl who got saved from the 61-year-old predator because she did the sign, the help me sign that the girl did showed them how to do on TikTok? She did it. Somebody witnessed it, and they rescued this girl, 16 years old. The 61-year-old pedophile dude was kidnapping her, and somebody drove past and she did the sign, and they wrote down the shit and got the motherfucking car. Good. So, and I'm saying that to say, they say this is the sign for help when you're in distress, whether it's abused, like, no, hands together, keep your fingers together. It's got to be clear. I need help. And listen, I will use that. I'll be in the middle of a motherfucker crowd, be like, this motherfucker crazy. Somebody come get this motherfucker. So, I listen, everybody remember that symbol, male and female. It ain't just for females. Motherfucker can have a gun to the back of your head. You'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Shit. What up, 4040? What up, Ken?
And she was leaning up, had the pillow out there like she was sleeping on it. And she had broke help on it.
Listen, get him.
On the freeway. Somebody recognized she put the pillow up there like she was sleeping.
That was smart. That was super smart.
Somebody ended up seeing it.
Okay, I need to ask my audience, and I need to ask my audience members. I ain't gotta ask you because I know you have. Have you? I know you probably haven't, but I'm asking. How many of y'all have seen The Harder They Fall?
Oh, I want to watch it.
My man, if you don't fucking watch that movie, my man, everybody, it's just like with Idris Elba in it. It's a Western, and it's the dopest movie out right now. Like it's a good one. Right, okay, Jate, I see you. Okay, Joe, listen, I watched the shit. I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. I don't even like Westerns. I've watched this movie 3 times to make sure I get everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, I don't want to talk too much because this old motherfucker ain't seen it. But listen, you fucked up because this is okay. You're gonna watch, yeah, because I ain't gonna talk about the movie itself. I am gonna talk about, however, the fact that all of the characters in the movie are based on real people. Some of the stories have been changed for the movie, but each person in this film is based on a true person, which I thought was dope. Jate said, I've watched it every night since it came out. Jate, I swear, I watched that bitch 3 times. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss nothing. I was like, okay, the first time I was half sleepy. The second time I fell asleep on this part. The Harder They Fall. It's on Netflix, and it's a Western. All black cast, fucking phenomenal. And I probably will watch it again.
Kill him. Because that's what he wanted him to do.
Because that was it. That was it. You see, you don't. But no, he said I can see what he said. You didn't have to say it.
I've been saying I was gonna watch for a week.
Because that was his actual final revenge. Because remember, he tells him like, "You gonna surpass me. You gonna surpass me." And listen, that shit right there. Oh, listen, I told them they gonna watch it anyway. But the shit is phenomenal. The shit is phenomenal. Oh my God, you have not watched that?
But I wanted to see it when I see it.
The shit is great.
I watched the trailer.
The shit is great. I love it, and I'll probably watch it again. It's probably, and again, I don't like Western. It's probably one of the best movies I've seen all year. The shit good. Once was good enough. Great actor. Tish says, great black actors, good ass movie. Skitter say once was good enough for me.
Oh.
No, listen, I seen it 3 times, and I'll probably watch it again because I thought it was fucking phenomenal. Okay, so since these guys ain't seen the movie, I can't even talk about the shit I was gonna talk about the movie. No, it's gonna kill.
That's what you said. I mean,
Get a spoiler. You got to see it for yourself. Though. You don't want to say.
Oh, okay. I can't say some of these things I'm about to say. Lakeith is good. He never disappoints. He's a very good actor. But do you know a lot of the actual real life people that they portrayed, especially Cherokee Bill, Rufus Buck, Nate Love, and goddamn the little twirly gun motherfucker, him. They were all quick draw. They were all they all were African American, but they were African American and Indian descent. And a lot of them were young, way younger than the actors that portrayed them. A lot of those kids, they died and were killed at like 21, 22. Like they lived fast. You know what I'm saying? They would listen, yeah. But I after watching the movie 3 times, I looked up the characters, the outlaws, and then a friend of mine posted the great. Yeah. But yeah. Same deal. But and it was good to see again real people that we know in our heads had to exist because we didn't just pop up during slavery. You know what I'm saying? So we know we had to exist during that time. But to actually have somebody out here telling our stories, and it was executive produced by Sean Carter, so shout out to Jay-Z for that. But she in it. She didn't direct it. No, she didn't direct it, but she in it. What up, though, Rick? Yeah, most of them live very, very short lives. After reading up on that shit, I was like, damn. His name was James Samuels. It was a fucking great movie. You gotta see it. But have y'all seen these musclehead ass motherfuckers out here having heart attacks trying to drink protein powder straight? It's a real thing. They're just scooping it out of the container and dumping it in their mouths, and they're giving them a boost of adrenaline, and these dumb motherfuckers are out here having heart attacks.
I don't feel sorry for them. It's like saying the motherfuckers.
That's what I say. I don't feel sorry for them.
Told them motherfuckers you can inject yourself complete.
Whatever, all that shit. It's all that shit. They calling it the dry scoop challenge.
I know the creatine is designed to give you the energy to keep working.
Yeah, well, then it's along those lines of product that muscle bound motherfuckers take.
Why?
They doing dry scoops. They taking it out straight out the fucking canister and dumping it in their mouth.
Straight to the bloodstream, right to your heart.
Stupid than a motherfucker, but it's funny to me. You dumb ass. You searching for perfection that bad. Fuck you.
That's dumb. Immediate gratification.
You say what?
That's immediate gratification. Immediate gratification. Hurry up and take this and work fast.
Yep.
That's retarded. That's fucking retarded. Why? That's Joel. That's the question. Why? Like, why the fuck would you do it? But like they said it's a adrenaline boost faster. It gets you pumped up to get through those last few reps you need to get to, so you can get chest day out the way. That's what it's for.
That's why I last 2 reps in sports class. The person in front of you did more reps than you.
That's why.
We want to take a nut. You know what I mean?
Side note. On this day, what's today's date? November 10th. No, today's the 10th. On this day, in 1969, guess what debuted? On this day, I used it, but not like that. No, these motherfuckers just dumb. Oh, you missed a lot of shit, Gigi. Robert says just like them whip ass crate challenges. They walk up them and then they walk down. And I ain't seen a video yet of a motherfucker complete the crate challenge without fucking himself up. Let me tell you something. They can keep all. I ain't seen one where a person made it. I ain't seen one where a person got all the way up and all the way down. I ain't seen it.
All the way up and somebody kicked the crates from above.
Joel, thank you, Joel. Joel, you get a star today for class. As my question, I asked what debuted today in 1969. Nobody in the classroom? Oh, damn. I wasn't here in 69 either.
Well, my history don't go back that far.
The most famous street in the world.
Oh, that was
It's the most famous fucking street in the world.
What? Boulevard? What?
Come on, say
oh,
that
it's
I
it's
don't
Woodward.
want to say it.
It's Woodward.
Woodward is the most famous
Jefferson.
street in the world. In the world.
Oh, no.
I'm thinking of something.
Hollywood Boulevard. Man, come on, what the fuck with this shit?
Yeah,
I don't know what's
that's
the
in the
famous street in the
world.
world.
I'm thinking of something different.
Shit, I ain't seen the whole world.
Come and play everything.
Sesame Street.
Hey,
Oh, that's the
okay.
motherfucker.
It's the most famous fucking street in the world.
Listen, do y'all know?
Oh my God! You know what?
It's the
Do y'all
most
know-
famous
do you know-
street
I don't know
in the world.
Listen,
You see what I did right there?
No. You look. You just
Name a street more famous than Sesame. Fuck that. Answer my question. Name a street more
Woodward.
famous than Sesame.
Woodward.
No.
Woodward was the
No,
first
I said in the
motherfucker-
world. Nigga, I didn't say in Detroit or Michigan. I said the
Listen, I'm about to
world.
tell you something, nigga, I found out in the news
The
the other day.
Woodward the first was the. I knew that already. Davidson is the first freeway. Did you know that? In the world. Did you know Davidson was the first freeway in the world? The Davidson was the first in the world.
I think I did. I think I heard
The
that.
Davidson freeway and the first mile of Woodward between 6 and 7 was the first paved road. Yeah. I be listen. I know my motherfucking history about the place I live. I be looking shit up.
They put semen on.
It ain't a street, but it's a street. But it's a street, goddammit. When you guys look, Sesame Street. What's the most famous street in the world? Sesame, motherfucker. Name a street famous, more famous, but nigga, the Boulevard ain't even more famous than Sesame Street.
Well, you on your way.
On my way to Sweat.
Maybe his name's Lenny Bruce.
Right. Thank you, Lee. See, look, everybody starts singing along with me. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? How to get to Sesame? Hey, Gigi, you right. Joel is like Jeeves. He been hooking me up over here though. He keeping me in the loop.
Y'all know motherfucker Blackbird, Big Bird was a black man.
I can believe that.
In the costume.
Okay, of course I did this on purpose, but no, I didn't. But since we're talking about Sesame Street, let's really talk about Sesame Street.
Oh man, anybody fuck with Bert, Ernie, none of that.
Hey, not even Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie is a whole other story upon themselves. Because I thought about Bert and Ernie. I was like, no, Bert and Ernie really could have been roommates. I'm cool with that. But their beds was in the same room, but back in the day in '69, they had Lucy and Ricky sleeping in separate beds, but in the same room. So we're not. I was talking about Oscar living in a motherfucking trash can. But could somebody have gave him a room or all the people that came on Sesame Street?
He wouldn't be grouchy.
Listen, get a man a home. Get him out the. That's okay, but he live in the trash can. You'll be a grouch too. If you live in the fucking garbage, Oscar the Grouch was our first home. Oscar the Grouch was our first homeless man. They was teaching us about homeless people already. That's what I'm saying. See, that was shit that Sesame Street was teaching me that I didn't even know. I know, but I didn't know the people that when I was growing up was homeless. That was just Johnny the Bum or Bob the Bum. Like you didn't think of them as homeless, you just thought them as beggars.
was sleeping
I
under the
didn't.
bread.
Right.
Shit.
Lee, shut up. Lee, shut up. I know Merv is Oscar the Grouch like a motherfucker. Merv is Oscar the fucking Grouch for sure. Wait a minute, who the fuck is Carol Spinney? It was that the black girl? Because I remember it was Maria, the Latino girl. Who was Carol? I know the Latino girl was always on there. He says Carol Spinney. I don't remember her. I remember Big Bird, Oscar, Snuffleupagus. No, Carol Spinney is
Carol
Carol.
was on the TV show though. She didn't come out when they came on into the show.
What the fuck
She
is
was
y'all
on
talking about?
TV.
No, they had a few people, actual people.
There was Maria. Maria was. Oh, okay. He said she was a puppeteer. Oh, he was the white man who did Big Bird. Okay. Because listen, I knew Big Bird. Somebody actually had to be in that motherfucking hot shit. He says a white man did Big Bird.
I don't know.
Oh, he.
Told me it was actually a black man.
Carol, but you know when you see Carol, you think girl. Oh, yeah, I get it. He, yeah. See, Merv, yes, Merv, you know you're fucking Oscar the Grouch. Google it, nigga. Google it. Nigga, don't never want to Google shit.
No, that's like they talking about John Hanson when the first black president.
But he wasn't the president. He wasn't the president of the United. I heard y'all talking about that shit the other day. Okay, but that didn't count when it was colonies, nigga. They talking about the guy on the only black guy on the back of a $2 bill. John Hanson. Look his ass up too, since we doing history lessons. He was the president of the colonies, not of the United States. They wasn't states then; they was colonies, so you can't count it. See, that's niggas reaching for straws right there. I'm gonna let you have that one.
John Hanson was a founding father of the United States and a merchant Republic.
Founding father.
Maryland during the era of the American Revolution. Hanson was elected as delegate to the Continental Congress after serving a variety.
Continental Congress. You listening?
In a variety of roles.
Okay.
Maryland.
Okay. Last, I want to bring up this rape case in Baltimore, and there's a rape case in Baltimore right now. A mother. She walks in on her 14-year-old son raping his 8-year-old cousin. Raping.
Yeah, he's like.
The mother turns him in, and he confessed to the rape, and he's being tried as an adult. Listen, he's being tried as an adult, and I brought this up because I wanted to hear people's opinion on this. In Baltimore, in Maryland, the law is if you're a child between the ages of 14 and 18, and you do a crime that somebody that is an adult will be sentenced to death or life in prison, you are allowed to be charged as an adult. It carries the same sentence as an adult. So if he's convicted of rape, he can face up to life in prison because they're trying him as an adult. He was 14. He's 14, and in Boston, in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, they law say if you're between the ages of 14 and 18 and you commit a crime that if an adult was to commit the same crime, they will be punished to life or life imprisonment or death. You can be charged as an adult.
Barack Obama signed a bill where if you were charged as an adult but you were under a certain age, you couldn't get life. And a lot of people came home from it because they were sentenced to life as juvenile.
Gigi says, yeah, she's scarred for life. I mean, she was 8 years old. But I mean, not only how fucking tragic is all of that, but could you imagine being the mother to walk in on your 14-year-old son raping your 8-year-old niece?
You remember what the black guy did in Highland Park when he killed his son?
Oh, I do remember that.
He killed his son for raping his daughter.
I do remember that. No, that was his sister. That was his sister. Wow, I do remember that.
Yeah, he took
Yep.
him out of the lot.
Took him out.
He took him out of the park.
Took him out of
the lot.
in vacant lot and killed him. Sure did. I remember that. Wow. But then even that, when you think about something like that, that whole situation, that whole scenario is fucked up because you the sister,
His son
you got.
being a pedophile.
Well, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's how this mother looked at her son because you're 14 years old.
Maybe it happened to him when he was little.
Because
that's what I'm thinking.
Because most molesters started out being molested themselves. Not all. I'm not saying all. Not all. But a lot of times the people that do the touching been touched themselves.
They've been touched. That's because they think it's okay. Yep.
That's
because
true.
Maybe the father
some fucked up person
maybe
done
the
it to
father
them.
was touched.
You know what I
He
mean?
didn't like
And they think it, or it's a learned behavior,
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So now they need to be figuring out who
in
the
the
fuck
world
been
is kill
touching
your
them.
own kids.
Same thing with R. Kelly, like he said, it's a learned behavior. I'm not justifying what he did.
Right.
It happens to him as a kid.
Right.
I don't get me wrong. I'm not justifying what he did.
But yeah,
he was molested.
most, not all cases, but most cases, the toucher started out as being touched. Yeah. Yeah. I do agree with that. Joel says that's a hard one. Not sure he should be tried as an adult, but there needs to be some repercussions. For sure. Yeah, and that's why I brought it up about the whole being tried as an adult thing. At 14 years old, like you said, at 16-year-olds, at 14, you know right from wrong. At 14, you know right from wrong. What, knowing right from wrong? Or you know what you doing, what you was doing to this 18-year-old girl was wrong at 14.
I think y'all need to sit down and talk to this boy. Talk to him and figure out what made him lead up to this bullshit.
Whoop his ass first.
Yeah, I would have did that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wait, T says the problem is with that is that so many people have a mental condition and no one addresses it then. Robert says, yes, R. Kelly was sick, but my boy, he messed up. He's getting the same lawyer that Bill Cosby got. He's getting the same one. Shut up. Skitterby, he tripping.
I mean, he was sick.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Like, we always look at pedophiles and be like, monster, monster, monster. But that something had to trigger that. Something had to start that. Something had to gravitate you toward that. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Gigi. I definitely say the 14-year-old boy knew what the fuck he was doing, but still, they need to talk to him and find out if this is a pattern.
So go get that.
And I ain't saying it always is a pattern. Sometimes it's just some deviant motherfuckers out here. Sometimes it's just some fucked up people made. Yeah, it's just some fucked up people just made. Everything can't be dismissed as a mental disease or sickness. Some motherfuckers just sick individuals, period. Like they weren't touched, they weren't nothing, they just fucked up.
I think 90% or 85% of the motherfuckers.
Damn shame. It's not my name. Well, anyway.
You know what I mean? I just think they done fucked with. I think somebody else did that shit to them. Whether it's a male or female, somebody made them.
Oh, listen, Rock. We ain't gonna.
What don't help? It don't help that these people watching their little girls run around just dancing like they 25.
Oh, but and no, what really doesn't help is you encouraging that shit. I seen so much of that shit encouraged. It's just so bad. Joe says could be a mental condition, but that boy would totally be messed up. Charged as an adult needs something though. Robin says the mother who killed her kids in the King homes. Listen, and it was just another case about that recently about a black chick. Yeah. She was dating a white dude. He beat her son to death. They killed her son. They left the son, his dead body, and her 3 other sons in the apartment, moved into another apartment, and left them in that apartment for a year, living with their dead fucking brother. For a whole year. The guy that was doing the guy that killed the baby was white, but the girl was black. The girl was black, her babies was black. And this dude was not just, he didn't kill this baby, he was beating another baby. He was beating the other baby. When they found them babies, the other one had a broken jaw. She needs to be under the jail. His ass needs to be under the fucking jail. But for you as the mother to let know that this man killed your kid, and then you left your kid and your other kids to live in a house with they dead brother for a year.
She needs done to several damn
That's worse than flowers in the attic.
That's worse than what?
Flowers in the attic.
Listen, yeah, that's way worse than Frowlings in the Attic. That's even though the book is way more gruesome than the movie. The book is worse. I mean, yeah, the book is worse. But yeah, but listen, could you imagine that though?
And then you wonder why the kids around here robbing people. Only way to bus stop.
Mike Ski, you late as hell. The show starts at 8, not 9, niggas. The topics done ran. They be like, what's the topic? Nigga, we done talking about everything under the sun. What the fuck you bitch? Show starts at 8, baby, not 9. Or too much. What's the nope. As a parent, you can't control everything. You can't control everything your kid do. You can't control everything your kid watch. You can't control everything your kid hear. But you can install some shit in your kid. You can limit the bullshit and install some shit in your kid. So when motherfuckers be like, oh, they learned it off of TV, bitch, no, that's you not raising your kids. That's you not raising your kids. Oh yeah. Listen, because everything I wanted to do, no matter what my mama told me, I found a way to do it.
You gotta go back to putting that belt to their ass. You can't just sit there and talk to
Right, listen, right, hey, Rock, that's a good one. That was a good movie. Did anybody see that? The Girl in the Basement.
Yeah, that was good.
That shit was crazy.
That was good.
He took his own daughter, locked her in the basement, based on the true story. Took his own daughter, locked in the basement, had what, 3 kids? 3 kids by locked in the basement of the family home. It wasn't like she was, the whole family living upstairs. The whole family living. They thought she was. I think he said she was kidnapped or she moved or whatever. He gave some excuse.
He said she left. She left or something.
But he had his own daughter.
The whole fucking room down there, and they had it. It was like soundproof and everything, and he had kids by her down there.
Oh, Rock said they had 7. Damn, was it 7? I know the movie. In the movie, they showed like 3 or 4, but. He had this girl in the basement. A true story. You take your daughter, lock her in the basement.
And I think the reason he got caught or whatever, one of the kids
got sick. One of the kids got sick and had to go to the hospital.
One of the kids had to go to the hospital.
The mother knows she's a sick ass.
That's how they found out. Like,
but
I'm talking about they have been living in the basement for years.
Some of these motherfucking kids was like 18, 17
years. It was crazy. That shit was crazy.
I'm just trying to figure out just make a woman actually just that's total abandonment.
You mean a woman abandoning her child?
I mean, just knowing that this is going on.
Right.
Not doing anything.
What kind of detachment from reality do you have to live in that?
Yeah. Because I can't see no amount of fear that would allow it to go that long.
You allowed this man, I'm talking about the real story in Texas. You allowed this man to kill your son. After he killed your son, y'all covered him with a blanket, put him in the closet, left the apartment with your other 3 sons in it, and dropped off snacks and food every other week or so. Oh, the dude had total control. The whole finally the oldest boy who was 15. Now she got 6. The girl had like 7 or 6 kids, but the oldest kids were already taken away and living with other relatives and shit. But we still got these 3 or 4, however many it was. But the oldest boy, the 15-year-old, finally told, like, he was like, I can't do this shit no more. I'm in this apartment, 15, trying to take care of both my little brothers. And I got a dead brother in there.
Who you protect?
Your mama, because no, honestly, believe it or not, he probably still loved his mama. I can see that. And you got to figure, they not going to school or doing anything like that, so they trapped in the world that their mama's creating for them. That's fucked up.
I understand that, but this is your little brother. At one time or another, just the smell of decomposition.
That's right, because
Too much to bear.
And that's probably how the other little boy ended up with his jaw broke, because he probably said something.
I get all of that, but
it's time to run away.
I get all of that. That's us as thinking the way we think because we didn't get brung up that way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you been only taught this.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You're programmed
You're
to
gonna stay
thinking
there.
this is what
And you're gonna
reality
take care
is.
of them other two
You know what I
brothers
mean?
and
We
do what
looking
she
at it from our
said.
From my point of view, no, I agree with you.
Anything else outside
That's
that?
just like the girls in the basement. With all them
I don't know
kids
about
she
that.
had, them kids.
I don't know.
If
about that.
that's the only world that
You're
them
not watching
kids knew.
TV,
But
you
what I'm
don't
saying
know
is,
nothing else. You
what I'm
think
saying
this is what it is.
what you
This is what
saying
the
is
world
what you saying is basically he's become like immune to this type of behavior because he sees it so much.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
It's only one little brother that's
Yeah.
You know how many other
Only
people
thing
you
what
have
I'm trying
to
to
see
say
there
to
for
you.
that to be normal?
Let me understand this.
You but
You looking at it.
if I've lived in this apartment for a year already with my little brother, it is normal. It is normal.
6'5" days.
Let me ask you something.
That's a long
How
time.
do you teach a person?
If that's all you know, that's all you know.
How do you teach a person to cope with walking in and out of a door every day with a dead body there?
Easy.
They have to see it more than just that one time.
No,
No.
if that's
I
all
don't
you
think. I don't think that. I don't think that.
So
because you
Yeah,
you
yeah.
weren't born in captivity. They was born in captivity.
Yeah.
So they don't understand the difference.
We got a wider view. We got a wider view. We got a wider view.
They was born in
If I go out of
captivity.
this room and
And
then I go
they
to this
think
room, there's another
captivity
dead
is
body.
wrong.
And then over a period of time, I've been.
No, I do not have to pay any money when I go over the time required. I just have to go over the time. But I'm about to end this shit anyway because it's 9 o'clock.
No, you can't. No.
But you ain't been nowhere.
Yes, I can. If I don't know nothing else, hey, they just listen. True story. This guy just died. Hold on, listen. This guy just died last year. I think the year before last, maybe 2 years. He's been dead. During the Vietnam War, this guy and his whole family was killed. He took him and his son, and they moved to the fucking jungle. Him and his son lived in the fucking jungle until he died like 2 years ago. The son died 2 years ago. The father got sick, I'm gonna say 5 years ago. And he finally had to come out the jungle to seek for help for his father. But they really thought the Vietnam War was still going on. My man was never sick, never anything. He didn't know anything about modern society because he grew up in captivity. He grew up, and once they introduced him to modern society, his first plane ride, his first cigarette, his first processed meal, he died within 2 years. He died within 2 years because his body wasn't used to none of that shit. His body wasn't used to none of it. But he had lived since the Vietnam War in the fucking jungles of Vietnam with no problem. Whatever, yeah, with no problem. I can't remember his name. So listen, captivity can breed what it wants to breed.
I get what you're saying.
We weren't born in captivity.
I agree totally with that.
And
But you know how much dead shit over time that he had to step over to get used to seeing it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It ain't like they left him in the middle of the floor. They took his body, put it in the closet in the bedroom that they probably ain't even go in. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know no difference. You don't know no difference.
Martini, what's up, baby? All y'all late. The show is over.
I can even see.
Cocktails and combo starts at 8 o'clock, not 9.
He just stumbled up on it.
No, they was there. They was there when they killed him and left him
You
there.
know what I mean? Do you know, like, I seen my first dead body at 8 years old.
I ain't never seen
I
that.
seen my second one at 13. I seen my third one at
But you wasn't
14.
in captivity.
But I still knew that what I was seeing wasn't the right shit to be seeing.
And nobody's disagreeing with you.
I'm not disagreeing with what he's saying.
I don't know how
I
they
understand
got
what
there.
he's saying.
I understand what he's saying because some people that
I hear what he's saying, but I don't agree with it.
He's seen it. I ain't never saw it. So if I seen it at the times he saw it, it could have distraught me in many ways. I have no idea. But I'm just saying it's a
I
difference.
seen it in the worst way.
So like he just said over those 3 times how he got desensitized to it. If I gotta walk in this room every day and ain't nobody coming to get my dead brother, I'm gonna get desensitized to that shit too. Same shit. Same shit. I'm gonna get desensitized to it because it's your reality. It's how you got. Same way them kids in the King homes. Same way them kids in the King homes went to bed every night and got up every morning knowing their motherfucking brother and sister was in the goddamn deep freezer. Same way. Same way.
And just like the fuck, because that's more modern. But the fact of the matter, the daddy, the grandmama, nobody has seen these kids for all these years.
Right.
That's fucked
They
up.
might thought that.
Listen,
Took him out.
I want to thank everybody for hanging out again for another fucking episode of Cartels and Combo. Listen, if you guys like the show, you guys need to go to my fucking YouTube page and subscribe to my YouTube page. Subscribe to my YouTube page. That's where I need y'all at, on my YouTube. You heard me? Join us next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. And with that, me, Whitney, and all my people, we saying good night.
The welfare check. They got tired of but they got on the welfare. The nanny and this talk about the care. And